All right, everyone. A little talked about element of the border crisis is human trafficking, specifically of children. Unfortunately, as of last check, link in the description, archived of course, over 32,000 children, undocumented immigrants, have gone missing from ICE's system. This is dovetailed with a report. I think it was 25,000 the last time around, last year. Now it's 32,000. So you've got tens of thousands of small children, people who are minors, coming into the country. They may or may not be legally entitled to be in the country. They get, posted with somebody. Maybe it's a foster parent. Maybe it's a so-called relative. We're not sure if it's a relative or a trafficker. And they try to contact them after they cross into the country. They're released from the, Obama Kids in Cages facility, and then they go off with their relative, supposedly, or somebody else, a legal guardian. And then ICE tries to contact them to get updates, to make sure that they can actually become, potentially residents of the United States. Because they're minors, they're kids, they've done nothing wrong by crossing the border. Can't really be held accountable for it because they're generally brought across by somebody else. Unfortunately, a significant proportion of them, I think it was something like a third of all of these unaccompanied minors, have disappeared from the system entirely. We're talking about a trafficking network that now spans hundreds of thousands of individuals. Now, supposedly, the liberals tell me at least, this is bring us your huddled masses. This is justice. This is caring about humanity. No, having 10-year-olds raped is not caring about humanity. No, I don't agree with that. I mean, I know that seems to be the liberals' MO at this point with the drag queen story hour and the sphincterbation books in elementary schools and stuff, so, you're into some weird shit. I don't think the average person believes that small children should be passed around like fucking candy from cock to cock, or from vagina to vagina for that matter. But that's unfortunately happening, and it's not just happening at the border. It used to be that, generally speaking, all of these problems had mainly metastasized near the border. Rio Grande Valley, Southern Cali, etc., parts of Arizona, and so forth. It has metastasized. Unfortunately, the problem, along with the fentanyl crisis, which is, it's the same cartels that are doing the same thing, has metastasized to the point where now there are 12-year-old hookers in New York City. This should not be happening. No reasonable society that has any dignitary standards whatsoever wants this to happen. I don't understand what the point is. It's easy to shut the border. Fucking wall it off. Put a bunch of fucking turrets on it and say, don't come. Do what Kamala said. Don't come. Please don't come. Because if you do, you're going to get strafed down, basically, at 100 yards. That's what you do. You defend the border. But there's no attempt to defend the border right now. Donald Trump was stymied by his own fucking political party in trying to do so. That gives me very, very little hope that the Democrats are going to do anything about it. Oh no, they'll plant their feet stubbornly. No, it would be like Beto O'Rourke. No, we don't need a border wall. We need to tear down the wall that exists now. And stuff like that. Hundreds of thousands of children are being trafficked around our country. It's a preponderous number of people whose lives are nothing but suffering. And they're all drugged up too. I can guarantee you where some of that fentanyl is going. The kid gets a shot of fentanyl and all of a sudden they just lay there and a couple of Johns come in, then you give them another shot. Once in a while you give them a hamburger maybe or something like that, or a couple of tacos. And they're not just coming in, by the way, from Mexico or Central America. There are people coming into the country from Eastern Europe. There are hordes of people coming in from places like China, from parts of Asia. And all of these people, when a minor comes across, there's always a chance that they end up being trafficked. This is a big problem. I mean, can you even calculate the number of people? It's like the population of a large city of people that are under the age of 18 whose lives are basically just getting drugged up and fucking. Predominantly female, but I'm sure that there are some young boys, for certain Johns that are even weirder. 32,000 kids over the course of a year is unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. Don't you have a better tracking system for dealing with this situation? Okay, let's say that you have a porous border and you're trying to process everyone. Now, some people slip through the cracks. That can be helped. Doesn't matter if you build a 100-foot tall border wall, there will still be some illegal immigration. That's granted. You can't fully solve the problem, especially when you've got a high-end economy. People are going to want to come into your nation. Isn't there a better methodology by which you can process? Like why don't you microchip the kids when they come in, so that you can track them? I guess that the Johns will just cut the chip out probably, or something like that. And I don't believe in microchipping myself mainly anyway, but it's a possible solution. You've lost track of tens of thousands of kids in the course of a few short years. Well, where are they? Some of them are currently buried in a ditch. Some of them are being pimped out. Some of them are in sweatshops working, 70 hours a week, making textiles. And some of them, they probably just got shot and, their carcasses rotted out in the desert. The hope is, of course, some of them, it's just like it slipped through the cracks and they're actually safe and happy. But that's probably not the case for most of these kids. You're talking about a significant number of people. These are kids that are suffering. Why aren't we addressing this fucking issue and holding the administration that currently reigns over the border to account for the situation? This was not happening under Donald Trump. Yes, there were still kids that were slipping through the cracks. Was it 32,000 of them? No, probably not over the course of his entire 4 years in office, because the crossing number was so much lower and the threshold so much higher for actually being allowed into the country. It's sad when children suffer. Nobody, unless they're Kamala Harris, so you're a psychopath, nobody wants that. It doesn't make any sense. Our border policy is basically, well, the border is Swiss cheese right now. Crawl through the holes, get a little bit cheesy and stinky on the way through, and then we're going to hand you off to Chester the molester. That's basically the border policy with regards to minors. And I'm sorry to laugh because it's not fucking funny at all. But it boggles the mind how you can screw up so badly on such an elementary issue. It really just scrambles my mind. I'm like, what the fuck are you people smoking? I don't want any of it because I'm assuming it's laced with that cartel fentanyl. That's about all. Peace out.